Welcome to another episode of Bet the Bus. I am your host, Payoff Willie, aka Year 10, aka, let me say that again, Year 10. We are back, boys. Yes, we were on the road yesterday for a workout in Atlanta. They might be on the slate today. They might be on the board. Who knows? Only time will tell. But thank you for tuning in. If you're watching, listening, wherever you get this, do your boy a solid. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. You guys were talking a lot of shit about, hey, Will, get out, get with the matches, do away with the matches and get yourself a lighter. Lighter found, brother. We found this. I found this actually in the kitchen not too long ago, and figured it'd be the right choice. Before we get into this episode, because the board looks fucking phenomenal this weekend, especially after last weekend. Hey, especially after last weekend. Let me get that. Before we get into everything, of course, we got to set this whole thing off. Everybody, bow your heads. We have to do our prayer, our gambler's prayer. Lord, grant us the serenity to accept the results that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom. Wait, hang on. And then the courage to make the bets that we can, and the wisdom to know that it does not matter. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the Barstool Sportsbook, and the glory, all yours, Lord. Thank you for your abundant, abounding grace, Lord. Thank you that we don't have to earn a drop of the mighty river of grace that flows freely for us today, Lord. Thank you for the unexpected and unmerited favor that you're going to shower us with the board this weekend, Lord. And please put us in the path of wins and dollar signs, and help us not neglect the disciplines that we need to meet with you regularly and to drink from your holy water, Lord. Thank you for your rich love. Amen. Let's have a day, boys.
Beautiful.
Jack, set us off, brother. Let everybody know. Let everybody know how Bet the Bus did last weekend, because this is the reason you guys are going to need to be tuning in each and every week, because we've been on a little bit of a heater. However, we will not get seduced with success. But Jack, go ahead and seduce them with the success that we've been having.
Brother, I mean, may I just say you have such a way with words. But yeah, the board last week went on fire. We talked about fuck a degree, but hey, we took our time, went to school, college football, went 4-2.
Yes, sir.
4-2, baby. Beautiful. And then we moved to NFL. We always knew the NFL was a lock for us. It always has been, always will be. 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, forever. We went 4-1. So a combined 8-3 on the whole week on the board. And I believe you'd like to say a couple words though about...
Yes. We did lose the Bet the Boys Parlay, and we will not give up on Josh Allen. Josh Allen is somebody that we need. He's not somebody that you cut and be like, we might not put him in the parlay anymore. Matter of fact, we're probably just going to add him to the parlay now as we speak, because I believe in the boy, and I know he's going to drop bombs over Baghdad come Sunday and give us 2 tutties. But we will not give up on him. He's somebody that you need late in the year. However, we did lose the Bet the Boys Parlay. Derrick Henry, we called it. We said he's going to get a tutty this past weekend. He did. Aaron Rodgers, you can usually count on that dude. Now he's going to be in London. He's going to go across the pond. I think you can bet him as well. We're not going to get into the parlay yet, but we did lose the parlay. And guys, for everybody saying we did not go undefeated, I think when you look at the board, regardless of what the board says, the way we see it, we went undefeated. And here's why. Washington, they played on Friday. Friday games do not count in college football. I think that is understood, even though we will be betting the Nebraska game on this Friday. But Friday games don't count. And then the other 2 games, we lost the over on Michigan, Iowa by 1 point. And we lost the Jaguars covering plus 6.5 by a total of 1.5 points. So we lost a total of 2 games by 2.5 points. If you remove that, we're undefeated. We're undefeated on the board. And the rest is like, that's fate. That's up to the gods. That's up to the gambling gods. They got to check us. They got to keep us humble. But guys, if you're not betting with the Bet the Bus, if you've been about, we're going to fade Willie, we're going to do this with Willie, like bet whatever Will says, we're going to do that. I know you guys are down bad this weekend, but hear me out. You always get in the mindset when you're down bad of why me? And in a situation like this, you can't allow yourself to become the victim. You got to become the victor. You've got to control your emotions. You have to be the dictator of your emotional ship. Be the captain of your ship. Because on Bet the Bus, we win or we learn. We do not lose. That is why you're tuning in to Bet the Bus. So if you're coming and listening to the boys on Bet the Bus, have your emotions in check because it will be a little bit of a roller coaster. And for those who bet against me, may God have mercy on you because we still welcome you back with open arms, boys. We still welcome you back because we are going to continue to dominate the board. I'm not going to get cocky. We're just confident in what we do here. JP, my boy, start us off. We're going to do, we got what? How many games on the NCAA? 5, 6?
5.
5, and we got 6 NFL games for you guys. And we're going to start off with the NCAA. Let's get it kicked off this weekend. Mr. Yes Sir himself, JP Hovey. Hove.
Yes, sir. I love this game that we're about to get into, Will, because Kansas is one of the best stories in college football so far. We got TCU at Kansas. -7 is the spread. What do we got?
I fucking love this game, and here's why. Kansas is undefeated, but at the end of the day, they're still the Kansas Jayhawks. You got to appreciate what they're doing down there, but TCU, number 1A, game day is there. And again, the Jayhawks will Jayhawk at some point in time. TCU has the second best offense, averaging, listen to this, boys, 549.5 yards per game. TCU is coming off a win where they absolutely undressed Oklahoma. People think Oklahoma's nice. TCU, Oklahoma knocked on the door. TCU let them in. They said, hey, get naked, take your clothes off. You know what it's about to be. Let's get this thing on. That's what they did to Oklahoma last weekend. Absolutely smacked them. TCU is also 9-1 in their last 10 against Kansas. TCU -7, number 17 team in the country, is moving up the charts because they're going to beat Kansas. They're going to cover. Not only are they going to cover, I think they're going to beat their ass. But TCU -7.
We will see. Next. Next, we got Nebraska.
We will see.
We have Nebraska at Rutgers. Payoff Willie will be in attendance to collect a bag. What do we got, Will?
Sir, I love how you said that too, because earlier, what did I say? I said Friday games don't matter. They played on Friday. Friday games do not count in college football. I think that is understood. However, Nebraska's on the board this Friday. Nebraska's favored by only 3 points against fucking Rutgers. Rutgers has been outscored 76-20 in their last 2 games. They rank 106 in the entire game in total offense with like a little over 300 yards per game. Nebraska is also, listen to this, boys. This is what I fucking love serving up because we talked about how Friday games don't matter, but in this case, here's why Friday games do matter. Nebraska is 4-1 against the spread in the past 5 Friday games. Rutgers is 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 home games. I've just delivered so much data to where you guys can see that this is not only a biased selection, but also an unbiased selection. And not only that, but I will be in attendance on Friday, and I know that that is the juice, the extra juice for an ass whipping. Not only covering the spread, but for an ass whipping, because Nebraska's defense looked different last weekend against Indiana. They played with a little more fire, played with a little bit more passion. They weren't a wet paper bag like the weeks prior to that. Nebraska's a different football team right now, and I think they're going to continue their winning streak of 1 this weekend against Rutgers, -3 on Friday night.
Dude, you can't guarantee much, but have a good feeling about that game. Will, Purdue at Maryland. We're covering. Take us to the game.
All right. Purdue, I like Purdue as a football team. Their 2 losses were against ranked teams by a total of a combined 7 points. Purdue is only allowing 2.9 yards per carry. Maryland, again, it's like they're having a good year. What's so funny?
Maryland
is having a good year. You cannot discredit them. Like, bravo, golf clap, they're having a decent year. However, I think Purdue's a decent football team. Maryland's pass game is set up by the run game. That usually makes a lot of sense for any team. But if Purdue can stop the run, I don't see Tua's little brother being able to carry the team to a victory here. I like Purdue +3 as a nice little underdog play in the collegiate level. But that's what it is. I've spoken. Purdue +3 against Maryland.
Got you. Next up, we got Illinois versus Iowa. We were in a similar situation with Iowa last week like this. Tell us what you're thinking this week with Iowa, Will.
All right, so Iowa's got like one of the best scoring defenses in the country, or one of the best defenses in the country. I think it's the best in the Big Ten, and I want to say Illinois is the second best defense in the Big Ten. Also, the under is 9-1 in Illinois' last 10 games versus a team with a winning record. So all stats are saying under, but guys, we lost last week by 1 fucking point on the under. Again, you take that 1 point away, we win that game. I said it last week. Risk keeps you young. And life is too short by Big Cat. This quote is from Big Cat. Life is too short to bet the under. We are betting the fucking over. Illinois, Iowa. Dude, I'm telling you, I think our next pick too that we'll get into, a couple great teams to be betting on this college football season that are little dark horses. Now they're making their way to the Thunderdome is Illinois and Kansas State. That's a great transition into Kansas State. JP, you want to kick us off with what we have here? However, the over is 35.5 on Illinois, Iowa. Listen, I know these guys can't really score and they're all about run and they're all about defense. However, we're fucking going to be cheering for the over this weekend. I know I am. Maybe that's one you want to fade me on. Good luck to you.
And to wrap up our college slate, we will be going undefeated after this game. Will Kansas State at Iowa State, -2. Talk to us.
Yeah, this is a good game. I like both programs have been doing well. I want to say Iowa State lost a close one to Kansas, to where it's like, oh, is Kansas for real being 5-0? Again, hats off to Kansas. I think the Jayhawks are just going to Jayhawk this weekend. Kansas State's been on a little bit of a terror. They've been on a little bit of a streak. Deuce Vaughn and Adrian Martinez. Number one, can we get a moment of silence for Nebraska losing Adrian Martinez to Kansas State in the transfer portal, because he's been playing his ass off, and I just want a moment of silence for Adrian Martinez because all credit to him. Moment of silence. Thanks, boys. And I hope he hears that. Matter of fact, I'm going to send him that clip because we need him this weekend. We need him this weekend because I'm taking Kansas State -2 on an easy dub. If they've been playing the way that they've been playing recently, this is an easy dub, boys. I think that's a very low and disrespectful number. Kansas State, here's some stats for you. Kansas State is 4-1 against the spread this season. Iowa State is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games against Big 12 opponents. This is a Big 12 game. Iowa State's kicker has went 4-1 on field goals. Hang on. I said that wrong. Iowa State's kicker went 1 for 4 on field goals last week. The dude, I don't want to say mean things about college players because they're just kids. They're just kids. But if you got to put the game in the hands of the kicker, which I don't think it's going to be because I think it's going to whip their ass. But if you need 3 points to cover that at the end of the game, that boy ain't hitting the game winner.
No, sir.
That boy ain't hitting the game winner.
He going to get us paid.
He's going to get us paid. That's what he's going to do. Kansas State -2 at Iowa State. I love that game because I like the way Kansas State's been playing, and we might need to take a look at Chris Kleiman for Nebraska in the future.
Love the way college football sounds. Now let's move on in to the NFL. Jack?
You know we're starting with those boys in blue.
That two-tone blue.
Against that old squad for year 10 over here. But we got the Titans -2.5 at Commanders. Talk to us.
Yeah, 2 programs, 2 organizations that I've had a hand in, right?
An imprint on.
A lasting legacy. The Commanders, once known as the R words, and the two-tone blue. And boys, again, I want to give us credit. We don't like taking credit, but we got to give credit where credit's due. And credit to Bussin with the boys and Bet the Bus. We didn't hit the panic button after 0-2 with the Titans start. Matter of fact, you can argue the Titans are 3-1. You make the field goal. You don't accidentally last minute, you're holding the controller, something slips, your thumb goes a little sideways and just kick it out of the stadium on the side. You hit a usual field goal, we're 3-1. Fat Randy, we believe in you, brother.
We believe.
We still believe in you. We're going to put you out there. We're going to wheel you out there. We need to. But I love Titans -2.5 against the Commanders. Titans are 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games in October. That's huge. Again, Aaron Rodgers said it. Vrabel's still the coach of the football team. He's pissed off right now. He's got them boys locked in on the 3-team keys in every phase of football. Offense, defense, special teams.
Book it.
Hey, book that shit. Commanders defense is giving up an average of 112 rush yards per game. King Henry is going to make the Commanders defense bend the knee this weekend. We might have to throw Derrick Henry in the Bet the Boys parlay because I like my man against this defense. Wentz has been sacked 17 times already this season. It's a big day for the boys up front. The front seven, Jeff Simmons, Dupree. Oh yeah, is Dupree playing?
Game time decision.
That might be a game time decision. We don't know the information, but we ain't gonna leak it if we did know it. Dude, Jeff Simmons, he's gonna eat it up. All the boys, I think they're gonna have a heyday against Wentz. Wentz is gonna wince, and the boys are gonna win -2.5 at Washington FedEx Field. Quick moment of silence, but not really because FedEx Field.
Moving on to the London game.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Mate.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'll take this over. We gotta stop right now before people click out of this. Scroll back down. Packers -8. We're going across the pond. Aaron Rodgers, he has his Peaky Blinders cut. He's over in London. I don't know if that's where it was filmed, but he's over in London. He's going to be at home. The Giants, they don't have either of their starting quarterback or either of their quarterbacks, QB1 or QB2. They're trying out guys right now. All we got to do, boys in green and cheese, is stop the run. I love the boys. I love the front seven with Green Bay. You stop the run, you win this game. I think they will handle Saquon Barkley. I hate that because he's on my fantasy team. However, we can't let facts get in the way of our emotions. So I like Packers -8. Aaron Rodgers, he's starting to click a little bit with his receivers. Doesn't matter who's out there. Aaron Rodgers is like ranch with food. You put it on anything and it's going to work out. Packers -8. Book it over in London. Aaron Rodgers is going to handle business.
All right.
Including celery.
All right. Back in our land. Dolphins -3.5 versus the Jets. This one could be shaky though. Give us some confidence. Inspire us.
You want some? I'll give you some. Dolphins, 10-3 against the spread in their last 13 games. You guys might be thinking we don't have Tua T. We don't have him. But Teddy Bridgewater is a great backup. Tua went down. My man's throwing, he was like leading the league, I think, in touchdowns, dicing them up, playing big. And then you go down in a scary moment like that, teasing piece of Tua. I'm glad he's okay. But you go down like that, like Teddy Bridgewater was not rattled. He's a great quarterback in these situations. And I know this is a little sneaky trap pick. Like, they're kind of disrespected at -3.5 because I think you're neglecting McDaniel's brilliance as a head coach and a play caller. I like Dolphins -3.5. And again, I love Teddy Bridgewater as a backup stepping in. He's going to take over this game. Watch it, boys.
Love it. Falcons, they treated us well the past week. So we're going to fly with them again. +8.5 versus the Bucks.
All right, here's some insider information, guys. The Falcons are 2-0 since texting me about bringing me in for a workout. I just went in for a workout yesterday. I think that it's going to either level them up even more, or maybe that's the jinx that they needed to lose, but I don't think so. I think the Falcons are a good football team. They have a lot of young talent on that roster. They had a tough game across the country in LA where they almost won. Jalen Ramsey, God bless him, he sealed the deal and picked it off at the end of the game. They were up again. We said it last week. Week 1, they were up on the Saints. Jameis Winston knocked him down 9 times. He gets up 12. He ends up coming back and rallying back, and they win a close game. They just got to continue to learn how to win because they're a young, talented football team. We got to figure out how to get Kyle Pitts to football. We've got to figure out how to get Kyle Pitts to football. But Falcons +8.5 at the Buccaneers. The Bucs do have a good team. They have a good defense. I know they're going to want to rally back after losing to the Chiefs. This is going to be a good game. However, I think the Falcons cover this spread, and I'm going to say take them at +8.5. I'm not going to say money line. I'm not going to be that risque about it because facts don't care about your feelings. I'm a little more emotionally invested in the dirty boys down south. But we're taking the Falcons +8.5. Atlanta has been a covering machine recently. They may not win, but they're going to cover. However, we are rooting for these motherfuckers to win because we might be dirty boys in the future. Who knows? Killed the workout. Who knows? Killed the workout.
All right, America's team and America's quarterback, Cooper Rush. We're going with Cowboys +4.5 versus the Rams.
The bag. Cowboys +4.5. I'm going to make this one quick. This one's a free pick, boys. Cowboys +4.5. Matt Stafford hadn't been the same since you pushed that chick off the stage. Take the Cowboys +4.5. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Well said. All right, in our final game, we're going with those boys out in San Francisco who just put on a clinic. 49ers -6.5 at the Panthers. Thoughts?
49ers are one of those teams that are like a complete football team. Like they play physical. They know who they are. They know their identity. They're creative every week. They play good defense. Debo Samuel is a fucking stud in his little post shooting at Jalen Ramsey. That is the NFL that we all want and we all love. Like I love a little shit talk. I like the Niners to cover in Carolina. I know that's a big spread, -6.5. It's right now. It could move. Who knows? But the Niners have the number one defense when it comes to yards per game, yards per play, and first downs per game. Baker has shown, we love Baker, but Baker has shown he hasn't been able to do a whole lot right now. Maybe people aren't buying up his merch, but he's shown he hasn't been able to do a whole lot right now. They have the worst ranked offense at 262 yards per game. I think the 49ers defense suffocates them. The spread started at 4.5 and has now grown to 6.5. That shows you how much people love this bet. Shanahan with Jimmy G at quarterback is 36-17, their record together. I love them to cover against the Panthers. I also like the boy George. He hasn't gotten a hot start this season. I like for him to have a little breakout game. I like for him, we're going to throw him in the parlay somewhere, whether it's an anytime touchdown or covering or going above and beyond his yards, because I think he's due for a game. That's why I'm wearing my hat. Kittlefest hat. It's about to be a Kittlefest in Carolina. 49ers -6.5, and that will take us to the Bet the Boys parlay. And again, I know I've said some names. I like Derrick Henry this weekend. And again, for those of you why I'm not saying what the parlay is, a lot of these players like George Kittle and like running backs, receivers, tight ends, a lot of their props don't come out until the day of the game because they got to see who's active, who's not active. It's a little bit easier with a quarterback because you pretty much know who's going to be playing. I like Aaron Rodgers to have 2 touchdowns. I like Josh Allen to have 2 touchdowns. I like George Kittle to hit one of his props. And I love Derrick Henry to hit one of his props. Remember, the Commanders are bending the knee to King Henry this weekend. I like a 4-boy parlay this weekend, and I think it's going to fucking hit. What we have now is we're going to drop to you a voice message from our guy because we tried getting a hold of our guy. Unfortunately, he's in jail for the time being. He only had a 60-second phone call that he could deliver. He did it on message because we couldn't time up. We were playing phone tag. Not for him. He only had 1 phone call. He left a message. We will play it for you. Then we will get to the Bet the Bus lock of the week.
Playoff Willie, I don't have much time. Let me get into it. Broncos at home against the Colts. Love the Broncos. The 2 best players for the Colts are out, Taylor and Shaquille. Broncos going to win big at home. Going out to London. The big spread last week with the Packers that they didn't cover was not supposed to happen because it's this week. They're going to blow the Giants out. The Giants are not good. They've beaten no one. Going down to Tampa Bay. Brady's getting a divorce. Tom Brady's back on the market. He is going to destroy the Falcons. This guy is back on the market. Look out. MVP numbers coming. And then Ravens at home. The Ravens have killed me all year. Big leads, giving them up. They're going to win big against rival Bengals. Trust me, Lamar and company are going to take care of them. Those are my 4 picks. I got to go.
All right. As always, we appreciate the voice message with our guy. He's been rolling hot, by the way. He was on the hot seat after a week or 2, right? And then he's dialed it up the last couple weeks. I think he's won a total of like 6-3, I believe. But the Bet the Bus lock of the week. Here's your Bet the Bus lock of the week. And it is the most disrespectful line. And I'm taking this from my boy Jack. He was telling me before we got on the bus, he thought the most disrespectful line he saw was the Lions +3 at the Patriots. He doesn't know what's going on in Vegas right now, but I agree with him because QB1 and QB2 for the Patriots are out this week. They're trying out guys. And guys, listen to this. Lions have the best scoring and total offense, averaging 35 points per game and 437 yards per game. Patriots do play good defense. However, the Lions are going to fucking continue to score. Hawk, he had a shout out to boy TJ Hawkinson, friend of the bus, friend of the bus.
Got him.
But Hawk absolutely nutted on the Seahawks last week. Unfortunately, they lost because Geno Smith also nutted on the Lions last week. It was just a nut off in Detroit. It was a nut off in Detroit. However, I love the Lions offense in this game. They're getting their their best receiver back. How do you say his first name, Jack?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Hawk might not have the same level of game and stats. However, we're always going to take an opportunity to uplift the boys when it comes to these shows that we do because we're for the boys always and forever. But I love the Lions in this situation. They are 3-1 against the spread. They got their best receiver back. The Patriots are 1-3 against the spread this season. And again, the Patriots do not have their QB1 or QB2. They're rolling with, what's his name? Zappy?
Yeah, like First name is Bailey, too.
Hey, no disrespect, Bailey Zappi. We love you on the bus at any time. But for these clicks and for these numbies and for this money, somebody like Bailey Zappi is not going to win. Is not going to beat the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions just got to fix what they got going on defense, because for the love of God, they are air raiding. They are a scoring machine on offense. They're going to continue to do that at New England. Sorry to the New England fans, but I absolutely love. It's the Bet the Bus lock of the week. Lions +3. You know what? Fuck that. Lions money line in New England. That's the Bet the Bus lock of the week. Boys, as always, hell of a show. If you're watching, leave comments. We need like over 1,000 comments. Over 1,000 comments. We need subscriptions. We need all that. Fucking, we love you. We appreciate you. Let's go get paid and get laid this weekend. Own the board. Don't let the board own you. Let's go, boys.
Bonk.
Get laid. We need
Bonk.
get laid. Let's
Thousands
go.
of comments.
All of them motherfuckers, dude. I'm parlaying everything.
And then Bonk Team 6.